Okay, Tora, read.
Yes, can you hear that? You close your laptop.
Haha. This is
That's
why
sad.
dual monitors are best.
Okay. The Burnett grunted as he fell back. A sharp pain shot through his side. He looked up and the masked man was already running away. He sat there, shaken up. He was beaten by some regular person. He was known as a myth by other people. Occasionally, they would see him in the corner of their eyes, but by the time they looked, he was gone. He had never thought he'd be ambushed by anyone. That's the only reason he lost. That's what he told himself. He hoped to whatever God was out there that it was true. He reached his hand down to his side and quickly retracted his hand. He was bleeding, and he was bleeding bad. Normally, that wouldn't bother him, but he realized that his power might have been weakened. The blonde burst through the door. Snap, nap.
Did you just say snap map?
No, I didn't. Sapnap. He coughed out.
You said snap map, didn't you? You said snap
out of breath.
map. You said
No.
snap map.
No.
You said snap map.
I said sapnap.
You said snap map.
No, I didn't.
You said
what are you
snap
talking
map.
about? What are you talking about? Sapnap coughed out. He coughed out of breath. Sapnap. I saw it. He fell to his knees to catch his breath, and he looked up at Sapnap, who rushed over. So what? Are you okay? He got down to check Dream for injuries. He concluded that Dream wasn't hurt, just winded, so he calmed down. It was so fast. He took off his mask and gripped onto his sword. But I got it. Dream didn't have a name for what he saw. Others did, but Dream thought that the name was stupid. So he and Sapnap called it It. It. Very creative, I know. Did you fight it? Jesus, Dream. You could have died. Sapnap's eyes were focused on Dream's sword, which was stained with someone else's blood. I landed a real good hit on it. He laughed, clenching his fist. It was pretty cool, and I ran away before he could get back up. Sapnap helped Dream up. I think I'm gonna go to bed now, though. Sapnap nodded. All right, night, Dream. He smiled at his friend. Night, Sapnap. Dream waved before disappearing into his room. Sapnap decided to stay awake for just a bit longer when something outside caught his attention. Someone who was on their knees, clutching their side in pain. Sapnap went out of the house to see if they're okay. Hey, are you alright? Sapnap slowly approached them. They grunted in response. I'll live, they growled. Sapnap got closer. Let me help you, okay? He grabbed their hand and helped them inside. They sat on a chair while
Tiny!
Sapnap... What?
Look in chat.
Oh, God. Wait. Wait.
I'm so hurt. Why are you so mean to me?
My God. They sat in a chair while Sapnap went to get his first aid kit. He got a good look at the stranger. Brown hair, white goggles, blue shirt. So what's your name? He asked. George, he replied, almost too quickly, and lifted his shirt to reveal the injury he got. Sapnap gasped softly at it and started to carefully clean it. What happened? George winced in pain. Got in a fight, he said simply, watching as Sapnap started to patch him up. Sapnap hummed. I see. I'm Sapnap, by the way. He smiled at George once he was done. George nodded. Nice to meet you. He tried to stand up, but fell back down into the chair. Ow, he mumbled. I can English.
Good job at English, by the way.
Sapnap stood up. Do you have anywhere to go? You can stay here tonight if you want. He held out his hand. George took Sapnap's hand with hesitation. Sure. He looked away. Sapnap helped George get to the guest room. Night, George. Sapnap smiled before leaving the room to go to his own. He's gonna go get his own room.
Good job.
George stayed silent as Sapnap left, and he looked out the window. He growled, How pathetic. You got beaten up by human, and now you're accepting help from them. He clenched his fist, but just sat down on the bed. He never needed sleep. Usually during the night, he would go around and hunt for other humans, mostly just scaring them. If only he didn't get this so careless. If If only he didn't get so careless, then he wouldn't be stuck in some house. Oh, how he wanted to hurt the masked man, to crush him in his fist. If he ever came across him again, he wouldn't hold back. George was used to blending in with humans. He thought of the name while sitting alone one night. He wore goggles to hide his eyes, or lack thereof. Wait, lack thereof? The heck?
Just keep reading. Just keep reading.
Humans would get uncomfortable around him sometimes, but not everyone did. Sapnap was an example of that. George blinked and stared into the darkness of the room. His hand rested on his side. It still hurt, which pissed him off.
Language.
Okay, fine, sorry. It made him mad. George closed his eyes, sighing. He gritted his teeth, realizing that he might have to stay with Sapnap for a while. If he were to leave, he could be more easy to find, and probably more easy to kill. He couldn't have that. Not when he still needed to get back at the masked man. Wow.
Next chapter.
Ooh, wait, chat. I want to read the chat.
Oh yeah, that's your chat.
Yay. Chat. Read chat.
I'm back, sorry, I accidentally closed my laptop. Haha, I'm stupid. Read Masked Man, Phantom of the Opera. Oh no, you're lying to yourself now, are you? Big oof. He's very powerful. Nice scream, Zora.
No! Shut up!
Snap map. Caring
I
for
want that.
I want that. What did he get? Cheese? I want cheese, Drum. Ooh, blood. Very epic. why would you want to kill it though, SMH? I just died, guys. And then I said, lol. Shut up, Moon. Only I get to talk in chat. Do you want your chat privileges revoked? Is she talking like Schlatt now? Like some weird Schlatt and George dream thing? What is she doing?
Oh no.
Gasp. I fight you, say. Very cool, George. Yeah, you can. Weird face thing. Growling. What are you gonna do now? What are you gonna do? Bark now? Huh, George? Oh, very cool. That explains something. Uncomfy. Very cool. He is ang. Don't talk to him. Read chat. After every chapter, read the chat. What?
What?
I am dying.
I have water by me so I don't die while reading.
Oh, what? No, I'm just dying. I have water.
You know, I'm really bad at English and pronouncing things, which really sucks. Snap nap. I'm an idiot.
Why are you in the shower?
Cause why are you questioning them? Showers are great.
Shower? You people.
I have a closet right here. I could go in the closet right now.
I could also go in the closet right now, but it's a complete mess and I don't have dual monitors in there.
I also have cake. I can continue eating my cake.
I want cake.
Why is the cake green?
It's green cake.
Why is the cake green?
Green
That's my
cake.
big question.
The next morning, Dream made his way to the kitchen to make something. He stopped. He stopped in the doorway when he noticed a stranger standing there, his arms crossed. "Who are you?" Dream asked. George looked at the other person. He glared. "George, who are you?" "I'm Dream. What are you doing here?" He took a step back, bumping into Sapnap. "I'm sorry." Wait. That was the wrong tone. Sorry. Sapnap walked into the kitchen. "All right, Dream, George, and George." Grammar.
Yay.
"Right, Dream. George just came to spend the night because he was hurt. You know him?" He eyed George Cecily.
Yes. Cecily. What if you can't pronounce English words? Cecily.
George kind of.
George kind of sus. Who's question mark and why are they green?
It's the nicest thing to do. Sapnap watched Dream closely. "George, did you sleep well? I'm going to check over your cut today." "Okay." George shrugged. "I slept fine." He lied. "You didn't sleep at all. Why should he?" Sapnap walked over. "Are you hungry? Are you hungry?" I said, you know, like a liar.
Oh my god.
Are you hungry? George shooketh his head. Sapnap shrugged and looked for some snacks. Snickety snacks.
Sneaks.
Snack. Snick snacks. George stepped away from Sapnap and kept an eye on Dream. Dream shifted his feet, feeling uncomfy, with George staring at him. George picked up on that, but he didn't stop. There was something familiar about Dream. Then it hit him like a truck. Dream was the masked man. His suspicions were only confirmed when Dream said he was going to head up and grabbed a mask. George narrowed his eyes. Sapnap walked over to George. Can I see now? George glanced at Sapnap and nodded. Sure. Sapnap allowed Sapnap allowed Sapnap.
I'm not the only one that can pronounce words bad in names.
George allowed Sapnap to check over his injury. Sapnap frowned as he wrapped it up again with clean bandages. It doesn't look much better. George shrugged. I'm a slow healer. That's not a good thing. Does it hurt? Sapnap stood up. A little. It actually hurt a lot more, but he was annoyed with Sapnap, worrying over it, so he acted like it was nothing big. George has gotten injured before, most injuries from when he was younger and he was being reckless. It was always him who caused them, never someone else, let alone a human. What's Dream's deal? He asked Sapnap. What do you mean? Sapnap tilted his head. He seems uncomfortable, and he left rather abruptly. Sapnap shrugged. I don't know, he's weird. He came across it last night, so he might be shaken up. It? George asked. Is that they call him? It? He felt a little offended. Yeah, you know, the myth about that guy, Sapnap left. Sorry, I'm not very knowledgeable on it. George tried to hide his annoyance. I see. Do you believe in this myth? Sapnap looked away. I don't know, I've never come across him, so I can't be sure. He smirked. I see. Humans were stupid. That's true. Sapnap didn't even know what he was sitting across from the thing when he was talking about. So George, Sapnap quickly changed the subject. Where are you from? Hold on.
What are you doing? Oh, now everyone's on mute. That's amazing. I'm on mute too. Yes.
Conversation time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. But I have a real question to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Who's question mark and why are they green?
Who is question mark and why are they green?
No, but seriously, who's question mark and why are they green?
Very interesting question.
Hey, if you ever, I have some great pickup lines you probably never use because we're all lonely. If you were the imposter, I wouldn't vote you out.
I do that to people.
Yeah.
It's funny.
I'm just looking at the picture of like all these different Among Us colors, and there's just like all like lawful good, neutral good, and it's like all this. And look over the chaotic evil, and I'm just like, wow, that's my color.
Do these people not read the rules? Like, are you kidding me?
What rules?
There is literally a rule that says do not invite people to the server before getting permission from a mod or an admin or the owner. And they're like, no, I'm going to add someone. Yeah, that's valid. I can do that. I don't have to ask anyone.
That's really stupid. Help me, oh help me, I'm injured in horrible, agonizing pain. I've fallen in love with your beautiful eyes. How are you doing, baby?
I think I just died.
Oh, yes.
Also, please do not do that thing to me if you ever see me in person. Do not try and talk to me that way. I will cry.
I'm gonna talk to you that way.
I will cry.
I'm joking. I'm nice. I won't do that. Also, Corona, so I can't.
Yeah. Understandable.
Also, did you watch that video I sent you?
No, I can't watch videos on my laptop.
Oh, that's sad. Can I like screen share? Dang it. Oh well. Whoopsie doodles.
I'm very angry at this.
Forget me
Not
not.
my door creaking.
Okay, guys, we're gonna continue the story that we left off on. Chapter 22. It's the one night they're in that weird place for like a few years. I don't know why.
No, we're not reading that.
Okay,
Stop
okay.
it.
Last chapter. You ready? Last line. Oh wait. And I remembered everything.
I'm back.
It's a really
Epic.
great ending. I don't even know the rest of the story.
I'm gonna mute myself. Back to chat I go.
Alright, I'm gonna go where I left off.
Yes.
So George, Sapnap changed the subject. Where are you from? I don't think I've seen you around before. George leaned back in his chair. I'm not really from anywhere. I travel around. Sapnap nodded. Oh, I see. That's cool. I stay here. Dream and I like to go exploring, but we always come back here. George didn't really care, but he listened anyway. Why? I don't know. I guess it's because it's home. Sapnap looked around the place. I've been here for years. George grimaced. That was pointless. I see. He says I see a lot.
Yeah. I see. Yeah, duh. Can you not see? You have eye. Wait, no, you don't. Wait,
He doesn't.
You have wide eyes. What are you talking about?
Sapnap smiled. So once you're better, where do you think you'll go? George closed his eyes. I don't know. Somewhere. He kept quiet about his plan to get back at Dream. Sapnap wouldn't take it too kindly to that. Interesting. Sapnap listened to George, smiling. I wish you luck with that. Thanks, George shuddered. He wasn't used to humans being nice to him, and he didn't know how to feel about that. Sapnap kept this happy smile. If you don't mind me asking, who did you get in a fight with? I don't mind.
I do mind.
I do mind, he huffed. Oh, sorry, Sapnap quickly apologized, changing the subject once again. So what's with the goggles? George looked at Sapnap quickly, thinking of an excuse. They help me see you better. Nice. Oh, I get it. They look cool. Thanks. Again, George looked away. I think I'm going to go outside. Sapnap nodded. Okay, can I come? I needed something to do. Didn't do anything yesterday. George hesitated and then nodded, too. Sure. He stood up and walked outside. Sapnap followed right behind him. They walked down a path with someone came running over from behind them. Sapnap, Jim called and butted in between them. Hey! Sapnap waved. Oh, hi. Where were you, Dream? Just some pond. Jim shrugged. Where are you going? He shuddered when he felt George glare at him again. Sapnap smiled. George and I are just on a walk. I didn't want to be lazy again today. Dream glanced at George, getting the creeps from him. Cool. How are you, George? I'm fine, he said through gritted teeth. George smiled awkwardly. Cool. Mind if I join you guys? He swapped places with Sapnap so he wasn't walking behind George. Or beside George. I can English. I can English well.
Yeah.
Sapnap shook his head. Of course not, he smiled. Dream nodded. Awesome. He rested his sword's blade over the shoulder as they walked. George kept his eyes on Dream, smiling in satisfaction when Dream would get the chills. George eventually looked away, focusing on where they were going. They were headed right towards a village, and George frowned. He didn't hate villages, but he never had good experiences. All of the villagers seemed to see right through his crude disguise. They were different from the most humans he met. This village was no different. As they passed by, George felt their eyes on him. He would glare back at them as to tell them he was not intimidated. They're the ones who should be scared, he thought, and grinned. They were scared, he could tell, because they did know what George really was. There's nothing they could do about it. Nothing, he told himself.
People.
Time to read chat.
Yay! Go back up to where you left. George kind of sus.
After every
Sussily.
I'm in the shower. Yeah, understandable. Shut up, broken heart. I want cake. No. Go up.
Who is question mark and why are they green?
Who is question mark and why are they green? Drum. Oh, yeah. Sorry, SMH. Yeah, Georgia kind of sus. Cecily. Please, I'm laughing now. I sound like a liar. Featured comedy. Hunger. Shooketh. Snack. He is watching. He very memorable. Wait, memorable. memorable. How do I English? Yeah.
English is for
Shep,
losers.
idiot. Clean. Very cool. No. Heart. Oh, this isn't Discourse SMH. I need to copy Sparkle's BRB. It? Question mark, question mark, question mark. He is annoyed. BRB from me. Yeah, no, epic. This is from Penny now. Yeah, no, epic, K. Nothing. Shut up, Moon. Yeah, that's a wonderful answer. Yeah, just say, not really from anywhere. Home. He sees. Guys, he sees. Yeah, nowhere. He'll die. Yeah, very convincing. Lazy. I'm gonna scream. Epic. Cool. He isn't
Oh my god.
beside it. Yeah, awesome. That's a cool pose. Chills. Why? Villagers aren't smart. Humans aren't. B-law. SMH. Villagers aren't. Humans confirmed. Alright, you read.
My parents just screamed at me to like do something in 5 minutes. I'm just like, sure. I'm not gonna do it.
Never doing that anyways. I love my job.
Wait. Dream seemed to notice that as they passed the villagers, they would keep their eyes on George. He looked at Sapnap, who could tell that he felt awkward too. I think something might be wrong, he whispered to Sapnap. Sapnap didn't respond, just nodded. Maybe we should go. Go somewhere else? Sapnap started to walk faster. Dream and George also picked up the pace. Once they were far from the village, Sapnap turned to others. Those villagers were weird. They're always weird, George said bluntly, especially when I'm around. I've never seen them like that. It's almost like Dream trailed off, staring at George. His mind started to jump to a certain conclusion. No, that's crazy, Dream shook his head. George glared at Dream, but didn't say anything. Dream quickly looked away. Dream had no reason to suspect George. Sus,
George.
There's no sus on George. Every time he felt George's eyes on him, it made him anxious and filled him with dread. Why? George crossed his arms and then looked over at the village. Villagers don't like me, he shrugged. Sorry, I guess. Sapnap smiled awkwardly. No, don't be sorry. He looked around looking for something to do. He noticed a sandbar. Oh, we could go looking for shells. George huffed. That was stupid. So stupid. Sure, Jim nodded, following Sapnap over to the water. He crouched down right by the shore and started looking. Sorry, George. This is what we do when neither of us can think of something to do. He laughed nervously, then sat by Dream. It's fine. George walked over to them and looked into the water. His reflection stared back. He gritted his teeth, disgust when he remembered he was looking for shells with humans. He was seriously considering just leaving when he remembered that his current situation. English. It was true. He was normally a slow healer, but this was different. He was actually healing faster with Sapnap's help. Help, he scoffed, from humans. He nodded to himself. The faster he got better, the faster he could crush Dream. Oh, and he couldn't wait to see Dream's horrified face before he was ripped apart. George let out a snicker. Snickers!
Hey, Snickers. Fug.
It's not funny, Sapnap's voice interrupted his fantasies. George looked
This
over
part.
to see his fantasies. George looked over to see Sapnap cowering from some sea critter that Dream was holding. Huh? George tilted his head and stared at whatever Sapnap was afraid of. What is that? Dream laughed at how scared Sapnap was, and then looked at George. Crab, he said simply. George looked at the crab. Oh, he didn't know how to explain it. Looks weird. It looks hideous, Sapnap blurted out. He scrambled away and hid behind George. Dream, stop! George reached out his hand and Dream handed him the crab. George examined it. Dream tilted his head. Have you never seen a crab before? George didn't look at Dream. Would it be weird if he said no? No? Huh. Dream didn't question him further. George, get rid of that thing! Sapnap cried and scrambled over to hide behind Dream. It's so gross! George grinned slightly and held the crab close to the Sapnap, who screamed. Dream laughed at how scared he got. George didn't know what he was currently feeling. This was way different than when he would scare normal people who were just passing by. George laughed with Dream, not his normal psychopath-sounding laugh. His laugh was different too. George didn't hate this new feeling, but at the same time, he did. He hated how a powerful being like him was doing nothing but playing with crabs and humans. It was something he never got to experience. George handed the crab back to Dream. He watched Sapnap crawl back over to him. He laughed again. Dream decided that Sapnap had enough and threw the crab back into the water. Sapnap punched Dream. "You're so mean!" Dream laughed and started to stand up. "I have an idea of what we could do." Sapnap glared. "Yeah?" Dream nodded. "Why don't we go visit Bad?" George tilted his head. He looked at Sapnap, who nodded too. "Sounds good." He stood up and helped George stand up. "He's a friend of ours." George followed Sapnap and Dream to this bad person's house. That just sounds so weird. Like, to this bad person's house. What kind of name was Bad anyways? When they got there, Dream knocked on the door and waited, and once Bad opened the door, George shuddered. Cool. He isn't beside. Awesome. That's a cool pose. Ha, chills. Why? Villagers are smart, humans aren't. That is very true. B-Law. SMH. Villagers aren't humans, confirmed. I love my job. Very edgy, George. Yeah, crazy. Stop glaring at people. Say SMH. People, wait. Ah! My god. Anyways, he smiled. Very good. Shields, shells, shell. Seals, should. SMH. What are they doing? Ooh, reflection. Ooh, oh, shells. Epic. Slow healer. Healer. Yeah, he wants to crush Dream, guys. Heck yeah. I'm hungry. Is he
We're all
gonna do
hungry, Tiny.
hungry for cake? He's gonna laugh, doing, haha, one crab. It's a crab. Crabs are hideous, confirmed. Crabs and humans. That's funny. Yeah. He is crawling. Crab abuse. Ooh, bad. He is friend. Bad person. Wait, person. Yeah, I can spell. Wait, the what? No. Move on. So stop. Back to reading. Nice scream. That's how you read it. Oh.
George's eyes met Bad's. They stared at each other for a moment before Bad smiled. "Oh, hey!" he greeted Dream and Sapnap. "It's been a while, you guys." Sapnap waved. "Hi, Bad," he smiled. "We thought we should stop by for a visit, if that's okay."
Hi, Bad. I'm not okay.
George was too focused on Bad. He didn't realize that he should have introduced himself. He quickly cleared his throat. I'm George." Bad smiled more. "Nice to meet you, George." George could see right through that cheery tone of his. It was like a mutual understanding. George noted that Bad also had different eyes than Sapnap's or Dream's. They were like his, pure white. Bad had invited the three inside and started talking with Sapnap. George couldn't take his eyes off Bad. He was so uncomfortable not trying to hide or anything. George huffed and looked away finally. "What are you staring at, Bad?" Dream asked George. George crossed his arms. He reminds me of someone." He wasn't really lying. Bad reminded him of himself. What's the deal with his eyes? I don't know. He doesn't talk about it. Dream answered, and George felt frustrated. Humans were no helpful at all. Bad walked over to them with Sapnap following. "So, George, where are you from?" He asked. George avoided eye contact. "Nowhere really." Bad knew that wasn't the truth, but he didn't call him out on it. That would be mean.
So mean.
Sapnap spoke up. "George told me he just travels around on his own." Bad smiled. "Wow, cool." He clapped his hands together. George looked around the We were confused about this last time we read this. A role. So George looked around at the role they were in. We don't know what that means.
Wow.
The role, ROLL.
Oh yeah, we're definitely all living in a role right now. It's really great role. You love roles. I love living in roles.
George looked around at the role they were in. Pictures were hung up and it was pretty cozy. Bad continued to talk to Dream and Sapnap while George looked around at the pictures. It clicked in his head, suddenly. Bad was a demon!
Yay, demons!
Hey, Penny finally did it. And it was Bad was a demon. They had something in common. They were both non-human, but they weren't the same. When he started to focus on everyone else again, he realized that it was just him and Bad in the room. Where's Dream and Sapnap? Bad smiled. They went outside for a bit. He paused for a second. So what are you doing hanging out with them? His soft gaze turned cold. I got hurt, so I'm staying with Sapnap until I'm better. George growled softly. Surprising. I never would have guessed that a powerful being like you would get hurt. Bad tilted his head. What, was it really bad? Why should I tell you? He glared. It's my turn to ask a question. Why are you, a demon, so calm around humans? Bad shrugged and smiled. Because they're nice. I've never come across a hostile human before. But that might be because they don't know what I really am. They don't know. Yeah, I read that right.
Good.
How? Question mark, question mark. George couldn't wrap his head around the fact that humans can be so stupid.
Yeah, how are we so stupid?
I don't know.
How are they so stupid?
He growled more when Bad shrugged again in response. Gosh, this is so freaking annoying, Bad gasped. Hey, language! He scolded. George froze. Why does a demon care about language? Question mark again. All of this was so confusing.
Question mark.
Bad stood up. You clearly haven't been around many creatures. Not all demons are bad, and not all humans are hostile. He patted George's head. It's okay to not understand, but at least try. All teachers ever.
It's okay if you don't understand, but try.
George George cowered away from the touch. Yeah, whatever. I doubt humans would be nice if they knew what we really are. Bad shook his head. I think you're wrong. I've been friends with Dream and Sapnap for a long time. And I know for a fact they wouldn't turn on me if they found out the truth. George went silent. He didn't know Dream and Sapnap for very long, but they didn't seem like the type to do that. He looked down at his feet, actually thinking about what Bad was talking about. He shook his head. Dream was the one who attacked me. Bad tilted his head. You mean the injury you mentioned? Dream gave you that? George nodded. You're not planning to get back at him, right? George clenched his fist. If I was beat by a human, I have to get back at him. He looked down at his hands. I want to see his face when he realized that I, the legend he's been so obsessed with, was right beside him all along. I want to see the hopelessness in his eyes that accepts the fact that he can't escape my grasp. Bad listened. Awkwardly. Haven't you thought of the possibility that violence doesn't solve anything?
Violence is not the answer. It's the question.
And the answer is yes.
Oh boy. Continue reading.
I'm not trying to solve anything. I'm trying to get revenge, George snapped, making Bad sigh before their conversation would continue. Sapnap and Dream returned. Sapnap walked over to them. What are you guys talking about? I've been telling George about the proper way to make muffins. Bad lied all too well. George scoffed. That was a stupid lie. Sapnap laughed. You're not boring George to death, are you? Bad shook his head. No, of course not. Right, George? George nodded slowly. Very interesting stuff. Those muffins. Bad smiled in response. George shot a glare at Bad. He wasn't intimidated by the demon like he was when they first met, like half an hour ago, because this demon clearly wouldn't hurt a fly. He could be useful.
Guys, I'm being threatened to take a bath. My family's threatening me. They're just like, go
Alright,
take your
get on.
bath and shower.
Time
And
to
I'm
read
just like,
chat.
my family's forcing me to go take a shower. And I'm just like,
What?
no, let me
What?
continue
No,
this
move
fun
on.
call.
Oh, no, stop. Stop. Back to reading Degenerates. Nice scream. No, I'm not saying that.
No, it says, no, go to where it says, let me unmute.
No, let me unmute. He's very happy, guys. My head hurts. I hate you, Moon. You're so mean to me. Yeah, George, introduce yourself, idiot. SMH. Very epic, George. Very nice. Honestly, George should follow the bee law. It annoys me. Follow the bee law. Ah! Anyway,
That's how you gotta say it.
nowhere. Great answer. Great, fabulous answer. Oh, where did I go? How dumb are you in this, George? The what? Roll? Hole? Roll? Epic. Pick two. Pick three. Pick two. Picture. Demon. Anyways, lol. Whoa, very demony, guys. He is hurt, sad face. Stop growling, SMH. Stop. I will extradition cries. Because bad to separate the B-law like an idiot. Bad, why are you like this, SMH? B-law betrayers. We aren't humans, Dora. Stop growling. Stop it. Stop it. He is friends. He doesn't know Gem or Snap Map yet. He wants
Oh my god.
revenge evil. Very happy, George. No, it's the question, smiley face. Muffins. No, he's slowly nodding. Stop glaring at people. Tell them no, heart. Stop screaming, Dora.
Never. No scream. Yes, scream. Yeah, what do I do about my parents?
How many chapters left? There is 8, technically 9. So 4.
We're like halfway through.
We're halfway. Oh, am I gonna have to edit 2 hours? What? No, that's pain. That's gonna be pain.
So much pain and suffering.
I guess I'll just have to upload like an hour and a half long video.
Yay.
I'm
As long as my
just
parents
reading
don't
a
force me
fanfiction out
to
loud.
do anything. George walked back to Sapnap's and Dream's house. What Bad has said to him was swelling in his mind. Not every demon is bad, and not every human is hostile. Not ever human. Okay, grammar. George shook his head. He knew that no human would hesitate to fight him if they found out. Even if he shows up in a corner of the eyes, they immediately take the sword out. They wouldn't hesitate to kill him if they had the chance. He laughed at that thought. At thought. Wait, no. He laughed at that thought. Yes, I can English.
Yes, English.
Footsteps started to sound from behind them. George stopped walking. He turned to see Dream running over. Dream flashed him a smile. Hey! George blinked. Hi. He looked around. Sapnap wasn't with him. Where's Sapnap? Dream started walking. George followed. He went to stay with Bad for a little bit. George glared at Dream. They were alone. No one but them were around. It would be so easy to just... An image of the three of them at the water earlier flashed in his mind, and George stopped himself from attacking. Dream was oblivious to George's intentions, obviously. George realized that Dream was talking, so he decided to tune in. And so he ran right past me and almost ran into the lava. It was one of the most funniest things I've witnessed. Dream finished his story. George nodded. I see.
Again with the I see.
I see. Well, duh. Can you not see? Dream looked at George. So, do you have any family members or friends? He asked. Sorry, just curious. George was quiet for a while. He didn't know what to tell Dream. I don't... Oh, sorry if that's a sensitive topic. Dream quickly apologized. No, George answered, continuing to walk. It doesn't really matter, really. Dream hummed. I see. Now you see too?
Again with the I see!
How long have you known Sapnap? George decided to ask some questions. A long time. We were both kids when we met, Dream smiled. George nodded slowly. Oh. was all he said. Hey, George, have you ever heard of Herobrine? George felt a panic set in his chest. What's a Herobrine? What's a Herobrine? Dream laughed. I know it's a stupid name. George huffed at that statement. Rude. George crossed his arms. I never heard of that. He couldn't tell if he was being convincing or not. He guessed that he was because Dream started explaining. It's some sort of myth or legend about, I don't know what it really is, but it takes form of any old human. It has pure white eyes and really powerful. George listened, kind of fascinated with how humans perceives him. I fought it before, Dream said. Oh, George was well aware of that. I didn't get a good look at it, but it sure was strong. Dream looked up at the sky. I did a real good hit on it, too. George nodded, irritated. Did you? He said through gritted teeth. Dream nodded. Do you believe that? He turned to George, and George nodded too. Sure, sounds real enough. George met Dream's eyes, sort of. Dream was wearing his mask and George was wearing his goggles. Dream smiled. What other crazy stuff do you believe in? Dream shrugged. I don't know. Demons? Dream thought about it for a bit. I don't know. I've never seen them, but I guess so. George chuckled quietly. Humans were so dumb. But that didn't allow George to relax a little bit. If Dream didn't sus. There's no sus on bad. No sus on bad. Dream definitely didn't have sus on him. So this hero
Bad is safe.
I saw
him do scan.
What?
Bad is safe. I saw him scan.
Oh, okay. So this Herobrine, if given a chance, would you kill it? George didn't know what answer he was expecting or what answer he wanted. If given the chance, Dream mumbled, then shook his head. No, I don't think so. He got down at his feet. In all the stories that I've heard, it never actually hurt anyone. George seemed to be around for a long time. Has been around for a long time. He couldn't remember if that statement was true. Has he ever hurt anyone? He started to question himself. What about that good hit you got on it? Oh, that? I was startled. It was really an accident. I thought I saw something, and then I turned around, it was just there, and I panicked. Dream shrugged. I don't know if I would have intentionally tried to harm it. George frowned. He shouldn't have asked. Now his thoughts were conflicted. He was about to ask another question, but realized that they were back at Dream's house. Dream had gone to bed, leaving George on his own. He stared blankly at nothing. He should have killed Dream when he had the chance. If he did, he wouldn't be thinking so hard about everything that Dream said. But then again, oh my god, he never would have heard that the attack on him was an accident. George growled. But was it really? I don't know.
Time to chat.
Wow, 42. Stop screaming. How many chapters left?
How many chapters left? Yeah, we already said that. He is looking very cool, George. Ever human. Good job. Yeah, you can. For sure. He stopped. Stopped. Yeah, spelling. They were alone. Self-restraining. Very funny. Haha, funny story. I see. He sees, guys. Guys, he sees. No, he sees. He sees, guys. Guys, he sees. Oh my jeez. Childhood friends. Oh. Very Rudd. SMH. Bad liar. Bad liar. Light-year. Liar. Demon. Yeah, very epic. He'd chuck. Guys, he'd chuck. And yeah, humans are dumb. He scanned, guys. DW. He panicked. Yeah, he no purpose.
That's nice. Your turn to read.
I know!
Yes!
George was sitting on the couch when Sapnap walked in. It was late, and it startled George. Oh, hey, George, Sapnap yawned. You're not sleeping? George looked over at Sapnap. You were gone for quite a long time. Sapnap laughed. I know. Bad started to tell a story, and I could not leave without knowing how it ended. You're really comfortable with Bad. Well, of course I am. He's my friend. Sapnap went to sit next to George. George was going to ask Sapnap if he knew what Bad really was, but decided against it. He decided to try and ask him something else, but when he looked over, Sapnap had fallen asleep. Good job, Sapnap.
Sleep time.
That's me when the class is over. Okay, we should keep reading.
I have a better idea. Oh, also my parents are harassing me and I have 5 minutes left, so yeah.
Very
Wait,
sad.
that means I have to read this whole thing on my own.
Let's just stop the recording for today. Bookmark the chapter that we're on.
Wait, no,
Oh,
let's
yes.
finish the chapter. We should finish the chapter. Oh,
Oh,
wait,
yeah.
Finish
we're
the
very close to
chapter.
the
Where
beginning
the heck
anyway.
am I?
We're pretty close to the beginning anyway, so.
Wait, what?
So, I didn't get very far in the recording, so, or in the chapter, so I might as well just not.
Yeah. Okay.
Chapter 6.
You forgot I was in person. That's amazing.
It's an hour and 10 minutes.
That's great. We have an hour and 20 minutes video. You should, like, in your description, you should put down that there's unofficial members like me.
Oh, yeah.
And ribbons.
I'll put that in.
Yeah. Okay, are we just gonna end it now?
Probably.
Yeah, I'll end it.
Yes,
Alright,
thank you for
goodbye,
having
don't
me.
die.
Bye,
Yeah,
don't
thanks for
die.
having me, guys.